we could get this player for as little as 35 to 40 million pounds. Leroy Sané money. But we don't have Leroy Sané money to appease the financial fair play rules and everything. But
now you want to appease the fair play rules.
Look, they have been. This whole thing this is retroactive, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This thing went back 2014 to 2016, I think this whole thing was. So City have been, look, City have been doing what they're supposed to do. Everyone spends.
Have they?
Look, I'm telling
That's why they're on trial.
Look, but this is from 2014, though. This is from 20.
It doesn't matter.
This is not during the Pep Guardiola era.
Oh,
it matters. God. It matters. But it's hard to argue. It's very hard to argue this point. It's a very tough point. It's always.
I'm just giving you a hard time about it.
I know. But the thing is, we need defenders. We also need a left back, man. I think we need a left back still.
You guys need to make up your damn mind about the fullback. You keep bringing in players. What's up, Reds? Welcome to another video. I'm your host, Kyle. With me is Dominic Rich, and today we are talking about Liverpool and Man City. Both had great seasons the past couple seasons, Liverpool especially this season. But how can they improve? How can they go up from here? You know, both teams struggle with injuries, but we're going to get into it. Who can we sign with players leaving? All that stuff. So, Dominic, first off, how you doing, my man?
Doing great, man. Went to work, got back home. Watch a little Arsenal Leicester. That was an exciting game. Caught a few other Premier League matches as well. And now I'm just here to chop it up with you to talk about the teams that we love so much. Man City,
yes, sir.
Liverpool.
Yes, sir. You saw that in City challenge.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Rough,
but
man.
I don't think it was intentional. I think he was a little too overzealous. You know what I'm saying? He just came on. He's trying to get a first touch of the ball. And James Justin kind of back out of the 50-50 because they were both going for the ball. He kind of backed out and it kind of made it look worse than it actually was, unfortunate for the young man.
Yeah, it was the knee that really, if you watch the different angles, the knee was the problem. But anyways, let's get into talking about, like you said, the teams we love. So you guys really struggled with injuries this year. Laporte going out. Sané was out, Silva, Rodri was out for a little bit. And then, of course, Aguero's always got some sort of injury every other day or something, or at least it seems like that. And, we struggled too. We had Alisson out for like 8 or 9 games at the beginning of the season. And, what's-his-face filled in really well. Adrian, I think he did really well.
Adrian.
And Matip and Keita. But for you guys, with Sané leaving now and then David Silva out at the end of the year, what do you think Pep is going to end up having to do in terms of bringing players in? And do you have an idea of what players he's going to bring in for those positions?
Well, we've been linked to quite a few players, really good players, but it's hard to know who we're going to bring in. It's very difficult. We're always bringing in these, young players, but they're never for the first team. We just signed a young Spanish kid by the name of Pablo Moreno. I think he's a striker. And he might just go out to play for Girona or maybe another club. And we sign in these young right backs as well. So we have those that might never play for City. But next season, we have to come better. But before I talk about prospective transfers and players who could help bolster this team, look here. We have a squad, and we have an expensive squad. People always like to say, we spend a lot of money, the squad is expensive and whatnot. We buy in the league and whatnot.
Which it is.
It is expensive.
Which it is.
Look, Liverpool's squad is very expensive as well, if you really
It's expensive now because we bought assets that increased in value.
That is true. We definitely there's no denying that City has spent more money than Liverpool. No denying that. Not at all. But they both spent money. That's the thing. But we're gonna save that. We don't want to get into the off tangent right now. But with City, Laporte injured, right? That was a big setback. He was supposed to be the leader in the defense.
Huge setback.
Yeah, he got injured early, but it's hard to make that excuse because we have Stones and we have Otamendi. Fernandinho filled in there. These players were supposed to step up and do the damn job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The caliber player that they are, the kind of money that we paid for them, they were supposed to step up and do the job. Not losing and getting, outplayed by other players worth 5 mil, and not that value equates to, like your talent or what you're going to do on the day. It's just that we're supposed to win these games that we were losing. And
so let me ask you this. Let me interject there. So that's a good point. So with Liverpool, with Matip out every now and then with injuries and, Lovren out or Gomez, whoever's injured at the time, why do you think Liverpool, it's kind of a loaded question. Why do you think Liverpool are able to still perform, especially namely this season? How do you think they were still able to perform at such a dominant level? When you guys still had not world class, but you had top defenders, like you said.
Because players are pulling their weight. It's that simple. It's a simple answer. Players are pulling their weight.
Why are yours not? Why are yours not?
It's hard to wrap my mind around it. Maybe they're just not good enough. Like John Stones, maybe he's just not good enough. I don't know. Or maybe there's something psychologically wrong with Stones. Maybe the pressure, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the expectations from Guardiola. It's like from the fans. He's an England.
What fans?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Funny. There's England, you know what I mean? He's an England international.
I hear you.
And it's tough. It's tough. And you could see it on his face. You could just see it. He's struggling. I think mentally he's not tough.
Yeah.
He's broke. I think he's broken. Psychologically, I think John Stones is just done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard for him to bounce back, man.
I agree. And I mean, you could see there were times when we played you guys at Anfield where players that should not have pushed him off the ball. Like I remember specifically the goal, Bobby's goal, where he just shoved John Stones off that ball and chipped Ederson. I mean, no effort at all. Plays like that shouldn't happen. That's just, that's needle in a haystack.
When you're talking about a couple years back?
Yeah, a couple years back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
not this season. No, not this season.
But John Stones he's been good in patches, Like last year when we won 2-1, he made a really good goal line clearance. That was the season decider if you really think about it, Yeah. He's had good games, but injuries and whenever he had a bad game, he wasn't able to bounce back, and that determines how good of a player you are, your mental toughness. Look at David Luiz, criticized big time. David Luiz has bounced back. He has started Arsenal's last couple games after the red card. Mikel Arteta put him right in, and they have picked up some good results. Despite, dropping points from a winning position today, they have done well. And David Luiz is showing how tough he is. A stat said that David Luiz has put in more blocks and clearances out of all the Arsenal defenders this season. So, a lot of people don't even see these stats.
Yeah.
Bounce back ability. You got to be able to bounce back. And I said that. Look at what Liverpool did. Whenever a player got injured, other players stepped up and performed. And
exactly.
The players who weren't injured did their jobs. Hence the reason why you guys were able to win or pick up the odd draw here and there. Lallana came on against United, scored that goal. You know what I mean? And you need that. When the other players weren't able to do the job, Lallana did it.
And that's a good point, because when you talked about David Luiz and Lallana, both of them are older players. They're veterans on the squad.
Exactly.
Okay? They should be able to come in and make a difference. So you're right. I got to give David Luiz credit for that. He still makes stupid mistakes from time to time, and there's no denying that. But you're right. And so moving forward with that, given that John Stones, in your opinion, is, maybe not mentally tough to the point where he can handle being in a Pep squad and the expectation that comes with it, who do you think you guys can bring in essentially to replace Company? Because, Laporte's a great player, but Eric Garcia, I believe his name is, he's young. He's 18 or 19 years old. I mean, who do you think needs to come?
Well, I think personally, and I was supposed to get back to the players we could possibly bring in, positions we could actually strengthen, and it's definitely in the defense. We didn't bring in somebody for company, or maybe Eric Garcia came in for company and didn't play, wasn't given enough game time. Maybe that was what Pep was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we never really saw it because he wasn't playing enough. So I think Eric Garcia is going to be there next season as a starter sometimes and, as a backup on other times. So I think he's going to be there. Personally, I think John Stones could leave the club. I think John Stones could leave, and whoever is willing to pay around 20-25 mil for him, we'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
I could see Everton buying him back.
Yeah, I hope they do. I
me
really
too.
hope. Or
Me
maybe
too.
like a Leeds United or one of these teams could actually.
He wouldn't. You think he'd go there? No.
You know why?
If they get promoted.
But I think they will. Aren't they top?
No, they're they will. Yeah, but I'm saying
last season they were top and they didn't get promoted. So you know what I mean, they fell off.
Anything can happen.
But Leeds United, I think, because the guy that you guys are linked to, Ben White, he's there from Brighton. And right. Brighton has intentions of keeping that guy next season. So actually, there's 5 matches left. Leeds have 78 points, so they're not guaranteed to come up.
Yeah.
They're not,
even if they do come up, I don't see, the argument could be made, but, you look at a player like the guy who was just playing, I'm blanking on his name. He was Danny Welbeck. He went to Watford, like a lower side, but he wasn't necessarily starting for Arsenal. He was kind of like a bench player. He struggled with injuries, and so he took that lower side to get the playing time. But John Stones is a first-team player for a good club, I think.
But what made you use Danny Welbeck as an example, though?
Just because Danny Welbeck played for a top 6 side in the Premier League, okay? And it was the first one that came to my head just because I saw him score in the highlights.
Okay.
That was the first example.
No, that's what I was actually – I thought you didn't know. That bicycle kick, I actually watched that game too.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him because, he was at United, then he went to Arsenal.
Right.
And scored his first Watford goal. And what a goal, a bicycle kick to win the game, possibly saving Watford's season,
Yeah, probably not, but good for him. Good for him.
No. I think.
So.
Wait. You're running away from the Watford thing, Because I'm talking about Watford, you're kind of running away from because Watford spanked you guys, huh? So you're running away from the Watford thing.
Do you think I care at all about that Watford game right now?
You kind of do because
no, not even a little bit.
It stopped the whole invincible thing this season too.
It's the only reason I was salty about it. It snapped the 44-game streak. That's it. Yeah. It had no relevance on this season at all.
Okay.
What I mean?
Yeah, but Stones though, listen, a club like that would be good for Stones. Wouldn't be a lot of pressure. Going back to Everton, working on the Carlo Ancelotti might be kind of tough for him. You know what I mean? So
I think he would go back there in a heartbeat. That's just me.
Personally, I think John Stones should pack his bag and go to Germany or one of them places and try to get his mojo back, man, because he ain't cutting it right now. Seriously.
All right. So John Stones isn't cutting it. So looking forward to next season. All right.
But wait. Remember, I'm not done. I'm not done because I'm not done with.
Who you bringing in, man?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Want to see at the club?
Just remember, when we having these discussions, we're gonna go a little off, and then we got to come back. We got to get our bearings again. I'm trying to keep you
on, my man.
Yeah. So I'm still talking about the defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Company left, went to Anderlecht, then Eric Garcia is there, and Eric Garcia has been playing well since he was trusted in there. He has been playing well. Quite unfortunate that we lost that game against Southampton. Don't know how that happened, but it happened. 9th loss of the season. And Otamendi, he hasn't been good either, and he has been struggling with injuries as well. John Stones with injuries. Fernandinho had to be there most of the time. So it was Fernandinho and Johnson. There was a time we had Rodri back there as well. Rodri and Fernandinho, and I was like, oh
I
man,
do remember that.
I'm like, this is bad. This is bad. You know what I mean? This is bad. So we need at least 2 quality defenders, I must say.
Okay.
I think Otamendi is leaving. I think he's leaving. I think he has maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but his contract is probably running down, maybe 1 year left or so. But John Stones got to go for sure. That's only my opinion, you know. He might be there next season. John Stones got to go. Otamendi got to go. We have been linked to Milan Skriniar of Inter Milan. He, you know, the Slovakian, he could be a great signing. He's going to cost a pretty penny. Yep. I haven't seen a lot of Skriniar, but if you look at Inter's defensive record, it shows that he is solid.
I'm going to bring this up because you've brought this up before when we've done these shows before. In one of my career modes on FIFA, Skriniar signed for Liverpool in 2 separate career modes. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Good defender though.
So you think you guys may get Skriniar?
No. Oh, if we bring in a defender, I think, which we need to do, because the injuries are going to happen, right? So we extended Matip and we have Gomez and Van Dijk. 3 top.
So what about Lovren?
No. So Lovren, the last 2 seasons, there have been rumors. Lovren is inching out the door, right? So I'm thinking Lovren's leaving. So with Lovren leaving, we need to bring in a player that is okay with being a role player, a player that doesn't demand first-team football. And so some names that I'm thinking that we've been linked with, like you brought up earlier, Ben White, okay? I don't think Brighton want to let him go just yet. The fee would have to be right. Tarkowski from Burnley. We've been linked with him for a couple of seasons, actually. Yeah, I think he'd be a player that would be happy. He's 27 years old. I think he would be happy to come in and serve a role for Liverpool.
I disagree. Okay. You know why? Right. Why would you leave a starting berth at Burnley to come and warm the bench at Liverpool just to play for Liverpool? Maybe.
Okay, ask that to Riyad Mahrez.
No, I'm just saying. Riyad Mahrez has been playing a lot at City. He's been
playing a lot, but he's not a starter when everyone's healthy.
He is a starter. He is now.
All right,
Riyad Mahrez
Sane was
now,
healthy.
No, but I'm saying
Sterling, Aguero were your starting 3 every game, and Bernardo Silva. Mahrez came off the bench in the 65th minute, pretty much.
What I'm saying, a
lot of the time,
you cannot compare Mahrez to Tarkowski. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, for example, Mahrez, when he came to City, he had to integrate. So Pep was easing him in. There was a lot of competition for places. So in order to keep the morale there and to keep the, you know what I mean, everyone happy, you have to rotate. And that's what was going on. But Tarkowski, I'm not saying he won't go to Liverpool, but I'm saying why leave Burnley where you're starting every game to go and sit on the bench at Liverpool? The only reason he would do that is if he wants to play for a bigger club and earn more wages.
Look, I'm not saying that Tarkowski. I'm not saying.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. You mentioned him, but I'm just saying.
Right.
Isn't Connor Cody a Liverpool fan? Wolves defender.
No idea. No clue. Yeah, all I know is Kevin De Bruyne, I think, is a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I think Connor Cody is a big Liverpool fan. Maybe he will sign for Liverpool. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, who knows? All I'm saying is we do need to get a defender who can hold his own in the Premier League. So, for example,
but at the same time, be willing to play a rotation as a rotation player. Which is what
I said. Yeah, a player who's willing to be a role player and not a starter. So, you know, you look at other top players that may have to be persuaded a little bit. Jonathan Tah, you know what I mean? Like, done great things at Leverkusen, but he's probably not the type of player that wants to come in and sit on the bench. But going back to Tarkowski, I feel like he would be the kind of player like that. That's a big step for his career.
That is true. I'm not saying that's not true. That is true. But is he going to do it? You know what I mean? Because, look, you stand a better chance of, for example, playing for England if you're playing a lot and Southgate gets to see you play for Burnley. But if you're warming the bench at Liverpool, he doesn't get to see you. You know what I mean? But going back to the defenders that we're linked to, before I forget. We've been linked to Skriniar. We've been linked, and Any one of these guys would be a great signing, but I'm gonna let you know at the end of when I give you the defenders that we're linked to, who I really want, more than the other. We've been linked to Soyuncu as well. That'll be a great signing if we get him, but he's gonna cost a lot too. A rival team and everything. Soyuncu, big season. This is his first big season, and he would be a great defender for us. Koulibaly, we've been linked to him. You guys have been linked to him as well.
Yep.
That's like the guy I want.
He would improve any team.
Yeah.
Like either team.
That's the guy I really want. He's
Koulibaly.
going to cost something too, but his price has been slashed as well.
Yeah.
If we get him, oh man, I'm telling you, I would be the happiest. I would be so happy.
I know you would.
Yeah,
you guys are in such need of like just a world-class defender.
Look, we have a world-class defender already.
No, I'm I know.
No, I'm saying we have a world-class. I'm not saying
okay.
Whatever you said is wrong, right? I'm just saying.
I said you guys need another world-class defender.
Oh, I thought you said we need a world-class defender because
I may have.
Yeah, we do have a world-class defender. Laporte is world-class. I don't care what nobody want to say he's world-class.
No, he's great. He's
despite not playing for France yet, he was called up, but he got the injury. That's why he isn't capped yet, or he would have been France's main man. But if we get Koulibaly alongside Laporte, I know both of them plays at the left side, but I think Koulibaly is right-footed, if I'm not mistaken. So if we get Koulibaly and Laporte back there, oh man,
that's a nasty defense. And believe me, I still think it doesn't matter. I still think Van Dijk's a better defender than both of them, but that is a filthy defense.
Look,
Laporte and Koulibaly, you guys, that would most definitely make you guys immediately contenders, which you already are, immediately contenders to win the league.
Look, all these guys are very good defenders. Let me just say that. It's very hard to say who's better than who, and let me tell you why, right? Remember when Van Dijk was at Southampton, and you're not gonna immediately move from Southampton to Liverpool and go from here good to really, really good, even great, like because you switch clubs. He was always good, but because Southampton isn't as good as a Liverpool, a top 16. They're not good as a top 16. He looked kind of average at Southampton. You see what I'm saying?
I do, but I'm going to disagree and say
you have to understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand it completely.
He may be putting in some very good individual performances, but it's overshadowed by Southampton's lack of success. That's why Liverpool went and got the player. That's why he was linked to City as well. You see what I mean? So now he goes to a better team. Immediately, he looks better. You see what I mean? He looks better than he looked at Southampton, but he was always good.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's according to the team. It's according to how the team is performing. If we right now, we were on 90 points and there was a title race on, a race to the Super Sunday, it would have been all praises Laporte, all praises Stones if he was back there. It would have been all praises to everybody. But because the team as a whole isn't performing, it makes everybody else look bad because, that's just how it is.
I think the media drives that narrative more than the fans, though, because I look at a player like Laporte, and I still think he's world-class, regardless of if there's no title race or not. I will admit I wasn't high on Van Dijk when he was at Southampton. You know what I mean?
No, but hardly anyone was.
No, exactly. And that's the thing. And that's another reason that kind of makes me believe that Klopp is the main reason that all these players that come in turn into world-class players. I use all loosely, but players that he brings in are just amazing. Like, the only exceptions, and even this one you could debate, bringing in Alisson was already top goalkeeper.
He was really good. Yeah. He was playing for Brazil already. Yeah. He was really good. But now you see what I'm saying? Moving from Roma, which kind of average team, average to good, to a Liverpool, immediately he looks better because he has Van Dijk there, he has Trent, he has Robertson, he has all these very good players around him. So it's like, okay, now, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. That's a good point.
It's power in numbers. It's like you and I are having a discussion. You and I are going to have a better discussion than we could possibly have by ourselves. It's going to be hard to have this discussion alone. You know what I'm saying? So
interesting analogy.
Yeah, as a collective, you're just stronger. That's just what I'm trying to say. So it just brings out the best in players. Another defender, the last one I want to mention that we've been linked to, and I think we've been linked to a few like Upamecano, and that'll be a great signing as well. But we've been also linked to Ruben Diaz of Benfica, and this one could happen way more than the others because
I agree.
Benfica is a feeder club. That's what
exactly.
They sell their best talents. We could name them all.
And Pep has that Portuguese connection. It just seems, you know what I mean?
And there's Bernardo at the club already.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like,
I could see that one definitely happening.
And there's Edison, who came from Benfica. So City and Benfica has that relationship already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there might be a few other players who came through from Benfica.
There probably is.
There probably is. I don't know if this kid that we just sold to Juventus, if he came through Benfica, a guy named Felix Correa. I'm not 100% sure, but he was Portuguese as well. So
you're looking at Koulibaly and Ruben Diaz as your game.
We're looking at Skriniar.
And Skriniar are all great.
All game changes.
Changes.
I do think, to be honest, Koulibaly would be great, but it's kind of, are we going to get him? But Ruben Diaz and Skriniar, they're at the right age, around 25, 26. But
Ruben Diaz is young.
Yeah, but Ruben Diaz, I think Ruben Diaz is about 25,
He's 23.
He's 23. Okay, that's even better. And
I'm going to confirm that because I want to be right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he's been around the Portuguese team for quite some time. And, let me see. Yeah, he's 23. You're right. He's 23. This would be the signing. This would be the signing.
You guys really need the defense. And I agree. I think those signings would be extremely beneficial to y'all. And who knows, even if John Stones doesn't leave the club, you could keep him there and he could be a role player. Same thing with Garcia as he develops.
It would be best for John Stones to just leave, bro. Seriously.
Okay.
100.
Now, how about
100? Look.
How about your midfield?
One thing before I go on, he's rated, his market value is only £28 million. They would want more for him. But in the climate, the coronavirus and everything messing up the market, we could get this player for as little as 35 to 40 million pounds. Leroy Sané money. But we don't have Leroy Sané money to appease the financial fair play rules and everything. But
now you want to appease the fair play rules.
Look, they have been. This whole thing this is retroactive, you know what I mean? This thing went back 2014 to 2016, I think this whole thing was. So City have been, City have been doing what they're supposed to do. Everyone spends.
Have they?
Look, I'm telling
That's why they're on trial.
Look, but this is from 2014, though. This is from 20.
It doesn't matter.
This is not during the Pep Guardiola era.
It
matters. It matters. But it's hard to argue. It's very hard to argue this point. It's a very tough point. It's always.
I'm just giving you a hard time about it.
I know. But the thing is, we need defenders. We also need a left back, man. I think we need a left back still.
You guys need to make up your damn mind about the fullback. You keep bringing in players.
No, we bringing in right backs, but we're not bringing in. Pep Guardiola keep giving Mendy a chance, and then he didn't play him against
What happened to Angelino?
Angelino went to Leipzig, where he has been better over there.
Is he on loan?
He's on loan, suiting the system a lot better. So they're going to look to sign him on a permanent basis because he's been whipping these balls in for Werner and Schick and Conco and these guys. So it's like out of the blue, this man is just filled with confidence and he's performing well like we expected him to, because at PSV he was doing well. That's why City chose to bring him back, because he was part of the whole City group thing. He was a Man City player, went to NYFC. I think he was at Girona, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We brought him back. We sold him, bought him back, and then sent him out on loan. I think Angelino, that was a big mistake. That was a big mistake. Pep Guardiola didn't show faith in the man. He was low on confidence. That's why he went out on loan, and now he's shining again. So that could also be a problem. Alluding back to John Stones, that could be the reason why John Stones isn't playing well. Pep Guardiola just staring him down, making him feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
all right. So defense is where you guys need to improve. Now, if you end up getting these players, well, actually, first off, let's transition. Before I move to Liverpool, are there any other positions you think need improvement? I personally don't think you guys do.
Well said. I like how you transition right there. Midfield, we don't need nobody. David Silva is leaving. Phil Foden coming up through the academy. He's going to step in. He's good. He's really good. And this is not even because he's my player. The man is, the kid is really good. 20 years old.
If you don't think Phil Foden's good, you just haven't watched him.
Exactly. Or you're just biased. You know what I'm saying? Or you just don't like City.
Well, I don't like City, and he's still good.
But why don't you like City, though?
Oh, don't get me started. We'll do another video. We'll do that. Maybe you guys are on trial.
But still, though, you cannot judge someone based on that. You can't just say.
What are you going to judge him on then?
No, you can't. You cannot, because, for example, if you did something in your past, Kyle, and I find out, I'm not just going to automatically say, you know what, Kyle, I found out that you did such and such.
No. You're comparing people and sports teams. It's different.
I understand what you're saying. It's an organization. Different. It's an organization. But if you understand what I'm trying to say, I'm associated with the organization. I'm associated with you as well. So if that happened, I didn't know that happened. None of us knew that happened. Most of us didn't know. So when you find out, are you supposed to say, oh, man, I'm a City fan. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with City again. Because you know what? They did something bad. City, you're bad. Guess what?
You're not guilty by association, though, as a fan. That's not how it works.
No, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. But what I'm saying, though, you're simply saying, okay, before this whole scandal came out, you hated Man City?
I never liked Man City, ever.
But why? Despite the whole money thing, with the whole financial fair play thing, why?
The main reason is because they're a rival. All top 6 teams are rivals to another top 6 team. Some you hate more than... Hold on. You asked me a question. Some you don't like more than others. Some you don't mind. I personally don't mind Chelsea and Tottenham. Other fans, other Liverpool fans hate Chelsea, for the same reasons that I hate City. It's oil money. They buy the top players. Chelsea's loan system is just buy players and loan them out. Everyone hates different things. For me, City, buy success. That's it. That. And not only that, to add on to that, buying success and then being not convicted yet, but accused and put on trial for fraudulent activity on the business end of it, makes it even worse. So that's literally the only reason.
I understand.
Real quick, wrap up this argument. This is a good one. Wrap up this argument. We'll move on.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, look, stuff like this is good. Okay? So what I'm saying, who's not buying success, Kyle? Tell me who's not buying success. I just want you to answer. Liverpool not buying success?
Liverpool are buying players that they can develop into world-class players. No. Listen to me right now. Okay, we weren't successful. We weren't every player that we brought in. Okay, all right. and it also has to do with net spend. This is a big debate. Okay, this is a big debate. We brought in. We're not the only player you could say that is Allison, because we hadn't had a good goalkeeper since Pepe Reina. Like,
but what about Van Dijk? Did you have a good defender though?
No, that's the thing. But it was like we weren't successful. It wasn't a whole unit. We were improving. You know what I mean? But we didn't buy all these players and then all of a sudden we're successful. Look at Lallana, Coutinho, Firmino. All these players were already there at the club, and they're huge success pieces. Still, Matip, Gomez, all at the club.
But Kyle,
Robertson, $8 million. You don't buy success with $8 million.
I know what you're saying. What I'm trying to say, right? Every team buys their success, and the reason why I'm saying that,
so debatable.
Look, it is very debatable, but
you develop success.
City has paid more for their players in order to be successful. And it's been happening. It's been happening. Look, it's been happening since the days of Mancini, when he won City's first Premier League title. Then Pellegrini. All the players that were coming in were very expensive. We know that. And it's because of the financial takeover. When Newcastle is taken over by another oil country, Saudi Arabia, they will be able to buy success as well. And that's what they want to do. When you have the money,
what they want to do.
No, but what I'm saying,
there is a pride aspect to this, bro.
Let me just finish this. All
right, finish it up.
There's a pride aspect for you, but for people who has money, there ain't no pride aspect in nothing. They just
I'm
want
speaking
to buy.
For me as a fan, not as a business. If I had the money, I'd buy a team too.
No, and then you'll buy the success to win, because you have look, these rich billionaire owners and countries that are bankrolling teams are basically playing FIFA career mode. That's all it is.
That's amazing. That's exactly what it is.
I am not trying to defend City, I'm not trying to defend City because of the money City have, the backings, the financial backing they have, and the revenue that they've generated through Premier League success, and the fact that they're not a bigger club like a Liverpool or historically a United, and some may throw a whole lot of other names in there. They have potential for growth of the fan base and everything, appeal and everything. So they're making money. Financially, they're a success. So they could afford to buy the players because of that success and because of the bankroll, the backing of the Emiratis. They're owned by the United Emirates, basically. Arab Emirates, basically. You know what I mean? It's oil money. It's oil money, Kyle. But Liverpool, weren't Liverpool taking over as well?
Yeah, by FSG, and we've talked about this before. FSG,
but what I'm saying, though,
you have to have an owner. That doesn't make any sense. A team has to have an owner. Like,
I know what you're saying.
They were taken over for $500 million or something, and then what are we, $2.3 billion? I think the team's worth, maybe $3 billion, something like that.
But look, what I'm trying to say,
nothing compared to y'all.
So basically, you're saying we just have infinite amount of money to do whatever we want, right?
In terms of like buying and selling players, yes.
Okay, so why aren't we challenging for the title this season then?
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
You guys have been challenging for the title for the last 10 years.
But what I'm saying though, why aren't we challenging for the title this season?
Let me read off the notes at the beginning of the video. Injuries, Aguero, Laporte, Sane, Silva, Rodri, that's why.
But if we were buying success so much like all you guys are saying, we would have brought players in January. We would have brought players in. January transfer, window, we would have said,
You
listen.
can't just, like you said, you can't just buy. A player has to be willing to come to the club, and the other club has to be willing to sell them. Just because you have money doesn't mean you get to bring every player in. That's not a valid point.
I know what you're trying to say, but because of the fight, look, City, if Pep Guardiola wants a player, he can get the player. Maybe not any player, but if he wants reinforcement, players to come. For example, a very good defender at another club, not playing Champions League, come over, we pay you more wages. The player is gonna oblige. Come on, if the player is making 10,000 a week or 5, and City say we're gonna pay you 40 a week, the player's gonna. It's a no-brainer. The player's gonna come.
It's a no-brainer, but that does not mean that they have to sell him.
It just means that City aren't really following the model that you guys think we're following by actually. We just buy. We look at what we need, and we're going to do this summer. We look at what we need, and we're going to bring in what we need. That's what clubs do. I don't hear anybody talking about what Juventus and Barcelona are doing.
Because Barcelona is doing it horribly. Barcelona have been buying players at the peak of their career, and then they've just fallen off a cliff.
But nobody's talking about the fact that Bayern Munich has spent $1 billion since 2000.
Because I would. No, I'll talk about it if this was a Bundesliga show.
No, but I'm just saying, it's we all in the UEFA Champions League, so these clubs relate to the English clubs as well. You know what I'm saying? They relate to the English clubs as well. So if people want to criticize Man City, you have to criticize these bigger clubs. Bayern Munich are buying their success as well. Because if Bayern Munich gets transfer banned, let's just say they could only bring players through their academy and play them. Dortmund, they would overtake them. It's simply because they keep stealing, looting and buying the players from the Bundesliga clubs or other clubs. Like they took, like, let's say Cuisance. He was at Borussia Mönchengladbach. That would have made, he could have been, who knows, a big thing at Gladbach.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you. This tangent about Bayern Munich doesn't
No.
Sense.
Let me continue. Let me continue. Okay. I'm trying to make the point. Trying to make the point, Kyle, because you're saying we're buying success. So I have to try to convince you that
I hear you.
Every club buys success. Chelsea bought success. United bought success because they kept bringing in the best players. So that's, you're buying success. That's all it is. It's mixed with buying the best players along with having some local talent there already. That's how you win titles. Did Norwich win the title? No, they didn't buy anybody. If they had the bankroll, if they were bankrolled by, let's say, African billionaire, Dangote or whatnot, let's just say that, and they just go to France and bring in some really good players, go to Italy, they could be challenging for the title, but that did not happen. They didn't buy nobody, so they're not successful. You buy success. You go into the transfer market and you buy the best players, you spend. If you don't spend, you don't win. It's that simple. But let's continue. Let's move on. Look, before we move on to Liverpool, that's just where we need to strengthen. Sane left. I think we should promote this guy by the name of Jaden Braff. He's a young academy prospect. We should bring him into the first team, give him opportunity. Because we're already overloaded on the wings anyway. Foden could play on the wings. Bernardo, Mahrez.
You do have a lot of wing players.
Exactly. Yeah. What we could do with as well is another striker. We could do with another striker. Maybe not someone who's going to start, but at least breathe down the necks of an Aguero and Jesus. So that's it for me in terms of how my team could improve. Center backs, left back, a winger from the academy, or a lesser known winger, and maybe another forward.
I like that. Yeah. I agree. I think you guys, if you were able to nail down some of those defensive players you said, I think you guys would be a force next year. In terms of Liverpool, so Liverpool, right now we're really well-rounded right now because we struggle with injuries. But with players on the way out, you look at Lallana and Lovren being the main two. Shaqiri, I don't even know what's going on with Shaqiri. We never hear about Shaqiri anymore over here on my end at least. But the main areas I'm looking at, like I was talking about before, center back. Okay, bringing in a backup center back. People would argue maybe fullbacks as well, but right now with Nico Williams coming through the ranks and Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, I think we're absolutely set. And then additionally, Gomez can play that right back position. But with those two, they probably won't shift Gomez over. Left back with Robertson, we have LaRucci, all right? We have some other youth academy guys, but of course, James Milner. The man can be plugged in at left back, no problem. So there, I'm not really too worried. But center back.
Could I say something before you move on?
Sure, yeah.
With the right back position, I think you guys are good. Nico Williams looks like he's up for it. He looks like he's ready. And I think he could be the backup to Trent.
Yes, exactly.
Or if Liverpool even wants to say for a game, throw Trent into the midfield and play Nico Williams at right back, that could possibly work as well.
Yeah,
that could work.
To that point, I've talked to some fans about that, and because Trent played midfield for the U23s and in the youth squads, I mean, he did. But Trent, I think he realizes, look, I'm considered one of the best right backs in the world. Why would I go to midfield? You know, he could. He absolutely could.
But you know why? Do you know why Trent? I think Trent is considered one of the best right back is because of his attacking prowess. His defensive side of the game is kind of suspect. He could work on that. He's still very young, and that's why it's very arguable to say, like, is he the best right back? Because could he actually defend?
I wouldn't say he's the best. I would say he's one of the best, and that's a good point to your point.
But, for example,
to your point when you were saying earlier, being around good players makes you look better. Because Trent is in such a good side, we don't really notice his defensive struggles that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Anyways, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, Ryan, my friend Ryan, he says that Trent is the best right back in the world. You know?
I could see it. Yeah.
He can, but I'm saying his defensive side of to be the best right back in the world, I think you have to be very good defensively and very good going forward, or just defensively, you can't pass defensive, you know. But in the modern day game, a right back has to be able to go forward and provide, you know, assist and even chip in with the odd goal. I think Dani Carvajal is very, very good. I'm not hearing his name called a lot, but look at Dani Carvajal. He is the reason why Hakimi has signed for Inter Milan. But we don't want to go too much off the side. But Liverpool, I think right back, you guys are good. Left back, Nico Williams came on for Robinson over the last game there as a left back. So Nico Williams could actually play the role of the complete fullback, playing left and right whenever needed. But I don't know if you guys are gonna go in for a new left back. I don't know.
I mean, we're probably scouting a left back already, but what I think Klopp's going to do this season, and which is why I only think we need to strengthen in the center back role and in Firmino's role, which I'll get into in a second. The center back role, we just need to bring in a player that can play the role of Lovren, a player that can come in when there's injuries or just when Klopp wants to rotate the side and perform. That's all we need. That's all we need. And there's plenty of them out there. Maybe some even better than Lovren. I think Lovren did a great job at the club. He did have some forgettable games to be kind of light with it. But the main position, I think, okay, we need forwards, okay, and we need a backup Firmino, okay. The other day when we were playing, oh my God, Aston Villa, I was blanking. We played Aston Villa. Origi started out the game in the center forward role, and he wasn't doing any of the work that Firmino does, any of the movement. He was shifting side to side, occasionally making runs, but he wasn't dropping deep. He wasn't pulling defenders with him. And that's not what we can't have in Klopp's system. A regular out-and-out striker just doesn't work. It does not work. So with that, with Firmino still in the system, unless Klopp wants to change systems, which I don't see him doing, I think a player like Victor Osimhen, I think I'm saying his name right, okay? Victor Osimhen, hold on.
Wait, let me interject you before you go forward right there.
Okay, all right.
Osimhen is not going to Liverpool to go on no bench.
Okay,
it's not happening. I'm just saying it's not happening.
Okay, I didn't say that he was going to come. I said this is
No.
the kind of player that we need.
Uh,
He's 21 years old. Okay, he might even be 20. Okay,
mm,
he's super young. He plays for Lille. He has 13 goals and 5 assists and 27 appearances. Quality player. All right. Why wouldn't he come to Liverpool?
Because he does not want to be on the bench.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Pepe left Lille for 72 million, and all he does is sit on the bench.
He's been starting. He had the Premier League isn't a hit the ground running type of thing for everybody,
And exactly,
I don't know if you realize that,
No, yeah, you're right. And you look at, like you were saying, Pep has to ease some players into the system. Klopp does the same thing. So with Osimhen, right, he would get playing time. He would get the same amount of playing time that Origi would normally get. And Origi is completely happy at the club. He would either be subbed on for Firmino or he would be playing in every FA Cup game or, whatever. Okay.
But Kyle, hold your thought, right? Don't lose your thought. Origi actually played left wing in that game, Maybe on paper
No. He switched. He switched.
Yeah.
So
maybe on paper, yeah.
No,
but
so he was in the
yeah.
middle of the field, right? Mane ended up switching into the middle of the field, and that's what happened. But when he was playing the center forward spot, he just doesn't fill that role. You know what I mean? Me personally, I would rather when Origi plays, he's a good finisher, but in the system, he's better on the wing. That's just me, though.
I actually saw an article that read Liverpool's faith in Origi basically costed them bringing in Timo Werner. Because if you guys were able to get rid of Origi, that would have been extra money to fund the Timo Werner move. Because according to reports, is Liverpool weren't willing to match the money Chelsea paid for Timo Werner, which was in not really a lot for a player of his quality. If you really think about it, £50 million around there, that's cheap.
Well, I've said before, the ideal player who I wanted to bring in was Timo Werner. And to that point, Timo Werner is better than this Victor guy, okay? But Timo Werner would not have started either at Liverpool. He would have been the same role. Whoever we bring in that fits that spot would have to be a player that's okay with being that role player.
Look, I'm going to say this. He may not have come in as a starter, right? But let's say he come in, okay, I'll play backup, I'll play rotation role, and Firmino gets a little niggle, or Klopp just say, let me try something different today. Because Firmino didn't score the last couple games or so. Let me try something different. And Timo Werner comes on and scores a hat-trick. You going to drop him?
Yeah.
And then every time he plays, he scores. What happens to Firmino now?
So if I'm speaking from Klopp's point of view, Klopp will always go back to Firmino.
No,
I don't think always has.
You know why? I don't think so.
You're speculating anyway, so I'm speculating too.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You are speculating because Timo Werner's not at Liverpool.
But I am we are speculating, but I'm just saying, if a striker, for example, a great example, what's going on right now, a situation like that, right now at Arsenal, right? Bert Leno is injured, and the keeper Emiliano Martinez. This man kept a couple clean sheets well in the last few games. Yeah. He had a good game against Leicester as well, made a few big saves. What if, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what if this man just has a spectacular time for the rest of the season, and when they assess the whole thing, they say, let's give this man a chance. That could happen with the Timo Werner situation as well if he came to Liverpool. You know what I mean?
Right. No. You're absolutely right. But, you look at what Klopp has done in the past. Adrian came in and did excellent. Unbelievable. Excellent. But Alisson's going back in there. Same thing. If Timo
yes.
You know what I mean? It depends on the situation also. But anyways, like I was saying, Timo Werner is the guy I wanted to come in. Okay? He was. Because if you took Firmino out of the side right now, it is a completely different team. No production up front. You saw that with Origi. When Origi was in there, instead of Firmino, we didn't produce anything. We didn't even have a shot on goal, I think, in the first half. It was kind of crazy. Then Origi comes on.
That's the reason why Klopp had to bring on for the three main men who didn't start, and that's
That's what I
the
said.
game.
Well, he just took off Origi and put in Firmino, and that was because Mane and Salah were already playing.
You guys actually made three changes.
No, I'm saying to the front line.
Yeah, for the front line, but you guys made 3 changes. Where I'm going to make a point where I'm saying Liverpool really needs bench strength. You guys need a lot of backup players, like quality players who's going to come on. I'm not saying it hasn't happened in the past, but now it's kind of looking thin. If you understand, the backup brigade is kind of looking kind of thin.
So, and that's what I was saying. Certain positions, yes. Okay. And like, for example, center back, yes. Left back, maybe you could argue that. Midfield, no. We're not thin in midfield whatsoever. We may be thin at the CDM role, maybe, but Henderson and Wijnaldum have shown in the past they can play that position. So if you consider that, Wijnaldum comes in.
But what about creatively?
Hendo, Curtis Jones now. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Klopp doesn't rely on a creative midfielder. Our fullbacks create. It's all in the system. That's the thing. You can't say we don't have creativity and we need a creative player when it doesn't even fit our system. That's what ever since Coutinho left, because he was our creator. Coutinho, the little magician. You know what I mean? Once he left, no, fullbacks, you're pushing forward. And that's why we brought in Nico and Van Dijk, because we needed that spine.
Fair enough. Okay, so how's Liverpool gonna get better than they are this season? Do you guys need to get better than you are this season? Because that's what the whole focus of this video is. How are you guys gonna improve next season? How can you improve? How?
That's the thing. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to go up from here, But I think what's really a blessing in disguise with this whole pandemic thing is our youth talent is exceptional. Okay, maybe not the best, but it's exceptional, or at least the players that are on the brink of first team. Curtis Jones, Nico Williams, Harvey Elliott, maybe not so much Harvey Elliott, but Nico Williams and Curtis Jones, quality. Curtis Jones is definitely going to fill in for that Lallana role, where you just need a player to come on and make a difference.
And what proves that he just scored his first Premier League goal 2 years.
And that's why I think Klopp isn't necessarily too worried about the depth issue, because we have quality young guys, but there's certain positions where we do need to bring in a top player, like center back, right? Our youth players aren't going to cover that role, okay? Center forward with Firmino. You can plug in Origi and all this. Like, it works, it gets the job done, and he's proven that over the past 4 seasons. But in my opinion, Liverpool can improve if they get more depth up front and at the center back spot.
You want to know what I think? You want to know what I think is going to happen? Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott just signed new contracts, right? You realize that. So I think that's the route that Liverpool are going to take. These guys are going to be around the first team next year.
Oh, I know that's the route they're going to take.
Yeah. Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and Nico Williams.
Yes.
Klein left, so that's Nico Williams replacing Klein. Then you have Shaqiri, I think, is gonna leave. So that's
it's looking like that. We really don't know.
Yeah. He's gonna. I think he may leave. He may leave. The club might just say, listen, it hasn't worked out. You never fit, and that's where Harvey Elliott is gonna come in, right winger. You see that? And then Lallana is leaving, so then Curtis Jones fills into the midfield. You guys have been heavily linked with Thiago Alcantara, former Barcelona youth product, won many things at Barcelona with Pep Guardiola, went to Bayern Munich, under Pep Guardiola too, won many things there, he won 7 of the last 8 titles with Bayern Munich, and he is looking for a new adventure. He has been linked with Liverpool. Do you think Thiago Alcantara is a suitable fit for your club?
I do think he's suitable, but like I said in my video, and if you guys haven't seen it, I'll put a little tag up top for you guys to go check that video out, full player profile for Thiago. I don't think Liverpool are going to go after him, but it's anything with the rumors. As the rumors keep heating up, I start questioning, like, could this actually happen? You know what I mean? But I think he would fit the system fine, absolutely fine.
Yeah,
He's 29, so the price, listen though, the price is what draws me more than anything else. His playing style, whatever.
What's the price? 35 million pounds or so?
If that. That's the thing. If that. So it's like it's hovering around 30, 35. So if we can bring in a player like him who's still got at least 3 more good seasons in him, could we use him as that role player? We already have players that are at that age with Wijnaldum and Henderson, So what's the problem with bringing that player in? And that's the only thing that I could think is that Klopp doesn't necessarily like to bring in older players. He doesn't.
You know what I think about the whole Thiago thing? Okay, he needs a new adventure. Why not Liverpool? Yeah. And I think he's been played as a deep lying creative midfielder at Bayern. And I think he would be a good player for Liverpool, regardless to the age or whatnot. He still has at least 3-4 good years left in him. Very talented player. The man came from Barcelona. He is he went to the World Cup with Spain. This is quality you're talking about. Quality, very quality player.
Reliable.
I don't know.
Quality.
Look, he's quality. And I'm gonna say this. You might not agree. You may not agree. But Thiago Alcantara is a better player than Henderson. You might not agree. Look, you don't have to agree. You do not have to agree. Thiago Alcantara is better than every single midfielder at Liverpool.
Here's what I don't think fans. Hold on. Here's what I don't think rival fans grasp. Okay, because they're not a part of it. Liverpool is a system.
I grasp
Players
that.
are plugged into a system.
Kyle, I grasp it.
I know. You do.
But
you do.
I know but let me finish the point. I grasp that it's a system and the player's going to fit in the system. Does Naby Keita fit in your system? Is he working? Is he working consistently?
Well, he hasn't been injured. He's been injured. It's hard to say consistently, but when he's in, recently he's been doing great. When he plays, Naby plays, I have not seen Naby have a bad game. When he did go off injured, I don't know if it was against PSG. I think it was PSG. We were playing PSG. He was murdering PSG's midfield.
Okay, but what if it's the system that's causing him to get injured? The style of play that Klopp plays, the constant pressing, so he doesn't fit the system. It's like, for example, if you take a part and you put it in a machine, and that part gets broken all the time, it means it does not fit well. It might work, it may work for some time, but it gets bold.
That's a good guess as to why he's getting injured, but it's very bold.
But that's why I'm here. I'm here to make bold statements. I want to make bold statements like that.
I'm going to disagree with you. I know you said I might disagree.
No, it's fine to disagree.
I know. But Keita isn't getting injured because he's not. I see what you're saying. Like, obviously, he's getting injured because it's a more intense style, right?
It's a more intense system.
Look. No. I get what you're. And that's a fact. He could just be injury prone. You look at like Sturridge. Sturridge struggled with Klopp's style when he came in, but he was always injury prone. But the thing about being an athlete is you can develop your body to be injury resistant. That's the whole point of fitness, is to prevent injuries and increase your ability to do certain tasks. So yeah, it may have taken a couple of years for his body to get used to the pressing style, but now that he's playing, he's excellent.
Well, let's see. Let's see. But let's come full circle with the whole Thiago Alcantara thing, because that's what we're talking about right here. In my opinion, my humble opinion, Thiago Alcantara is a better player than any of the Liverpool midfielders. All of them. And a lot of people won't disagree with me. This is Thiago Alcantara we're talking about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a lot of people know who this guy is, but the reason why he is not bigger than he is, ligaments, man. Ligaments. The man has no ligaments in his legs. And I don't think he's a great player, but I don't think he would fit into Liverpool's system because it might be a little too intense for him. He's very, 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 very injury prone, even more than Navigator. Very.
Yeah, and so I could see that. But when I speak about fitting into a system, I'm strictly talking about style of play. I mean, obviously the injuries play a role, but to your point, subjectively, he's probably a better footballer than our midfielders. You could argue Keita's probably just as technically sound. You know, Chamberlain's technically sound, but he's just streaky. But anyways, objectively, all right, he is not better in the system than Henderson.
Maybe not.
No, maybe definitely not.
Because he has not proven himself. Henderson has proven himself. Thiago Alcantara, in my opinion, should go back to Spain somewhere and play his football, or go to Italy or the Premier League. He would be a total failure, in my opinion. Okay. A total failure. He would not last he would not last an entire season without picking up an injury. For Bayern, I think he mainly comes off the bench late in the game because of that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
He's just injury prone. I went back and I did the research. I went all the way back to 2013. He has missed so many games.
He just had groin surgery.
Yeah, ligament, groin, hamstring. It's just like, I'm like.
And to that point, this is perfect. He mainly comes off the bench, right? So what if Klopp is looking for the depth? He's like, look, you play that role at Bayern. Come to Liverpool. We're champions of England. We just won the European trophy. Why don't you come off the bench for us?
True, but why pay 30 million for a player like that when you could actually maybe buy two quality players, younger, stronger, more stamina for that amount?
Because there is a certain what's the word I'm looking for? Maturity aspect that comes with coming off the bench and serving a role. If that makes sense. Maybe a maturity aspect that young players can't provide that veterans can.
But Liverpool, I have to say, from what I've seen, if you guys, and I just recently told someone, a Liverpool fan, this, and I said, you're going to eat your words, you know. You're going to eat your words, because people like to throw the whole spending thing in our faces. You're going to eat your words, because a couple years from now, you guys are going to have to spend some big money. You're not going to always get these cut price deals. You guys are going to have to spend some money for the quality to win things, to win titles. You're going to have to spend, because Salah ain't going to be there forever. He's not going to be a top quality forever. Mane, Firmino, Henderson, all these guys are up there. Wijnaldum, he's out the door already. You have...
But there is I just want to say this. I agree with you. We're going to spend eventually, okay? But there's 2 points to this. One, if you look back in history, our top players have always been like we brought them in when they're not expensive and they've become great, or they're homegrown. That is our history. We are not a club known for going out and spending huge amounts of money, and we will never be known as that.
But what about, I don't agree with that. What about maybe not anymore? When you say things like this, you have to say not anymore.
What were you going to say?
What about Benteke?
What about Benteke?
46 million pounds. What happened to him?
Are you smoking crack? Benteke was 31 million.
46 million.
No, he was 31 million, and we sold him back to Crystal Palace.
Go back and check. Go back and check. 46 million.
Pounds or dollars?
46 million. It's something 46
It's
million.
not for Benteke was 31 million.
Maybe not pounds. Maybe
Yeah,
not pounds.
Listen, we broke because Andy Carroll was I think Andy Carroll was 35. We broke the record with Benteke for signing a player, but it was not 46. I'm telling you right now it was not because
Okay. Kyle, I do a lot of research when it comes to these things. 41.85 million pounds, right?
Pounds. So what is that's dollars?
41.
Dollars would be what, 31?
I'm talking about 41. 41 million pounds, right? Converted to euros, 46.5. I'm talking
You
euros.
didn't say euros.
So, you know why I talk euros? I don't talk pounds all the time because you know why I talk euros?
You got to specify. There's a big difference.
But I just said 46 million pounds. I didn't specify whether it was euros or pounds.
Well, when you say 46 million pounds, it usually specifies it's pounds.
Okay. When I say 46 million, okay, I understand. We're talking about Premier League. Yes, you're right. But 41 million pounds for Benteke, that was a failure. You guys have spent.
All right, first off, it wasn't a failure because we recouped every cent from Crystal Palace. So it wasn't a failure. It was just bad business.
It's still a failure.
It actually wasn't because he scored 10 goals that season.
So why you guys didn't keep him?
Because he didn't fit Klopp's system.
You know what I mean? Why you guys didn't keep him?
Because he didn't fit Klopp's system.
Look.
Brendan Rodgers bought him because Brendan Rodgers was the type of player where he used the wing backs to put the ball in the box. He needed a striker that could head the ball. That's why he bought Benteke.
Look
and then Klopp comes in and sells him. That is literally the only reason.
Look here. How many years did you guys take on the Klopp to win the Premier League title? On the Klopp. How many years?
The same amount he said it would take, 4.
Wasn't it 4? He came in 2016, right? Yeah. 4 years.
That's what
the point why I said that, it takes time to build great things. It takes time. It also takes money. Money and time.
So we went from Benteke.
No. Benteke was only a point to say that you guys have spent.
That's not a good point because we spent big money than that.
Because back in 2015 2015, that was big money in 2015.
And it was the most we had ever spent. That's the thing.
What I'm saying. And why did you bring in Benteke? You wanted success. You wanted to win the Premier League title. So you spent.
To compete.
No, I'm just saying. 4 years. 4 years. Klopp has been at Liverpool. 4 years he has been at Liverpool, right? How much money has he spent to get where he's at right now?
Now, are you talking actual?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, you're
millions.
just saying.
I'm not talking about net spend, sell this player to bring in this player.
You don't want to talk about net spend because it's low.
I'm talking about spend. You have to spend to get success. And that's what we're trying to talk about right now. Next season is coming up. A lot of people may not agree. Kyle, you may not agree, and I respect that. You do not have to agree with everything I say. We do not have to have the same opinion every time. It would be boring. It would not worth watching, okay? Next season, it is on and popping next season because look, Chelsea are spending deep pockets.
Chelsea, City, Liverpool next season. Oh, it is going to be a good season.
Look, it's going to be a very good season. Chelsea, look, they're trying to buy the title.
Yo, Chelsea are known to do that.
I'm just saying. Oh, yes, you're right. And look, so I'm trying to take some of the heat off City here. Okay? We spent money. I'm not going to lie. We spent money. We brought in a right back. It was a kind of swap dealish for, Danilo and Cancelo. 60 million pounds and we're not using the man. Like hardly this season. You know what I'm saying? So City, it's like they got money to just burn. 60, and we're talking these numbers like this. This is some kind of small money. 60 million, this is some ridiculous money. And every single player is worth that type of money. My thing is, if Liverpool ought to stay on top and build somewhat of a dynasty, in my opinion, every player that you guys bring in going forward has to be 35 mil upwards. Similar to the way City spend bringing in players around. If you look at our players, we have never spent 100 mil on any player. The most we have spent on a player is what? 70 something?
But you realize that 100 million is a relatively new thing. Like, that's not you talk about it like it's been a thing for the last 50 years.
No, it hasn't. But what I'm saying, how many times have Barcelona hit 100 mil? 3 times.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Barcelona is sad. I know you can agree.
3 times.
It's
times.
ridiculous. And they've all been failures.
Failures, all of them.
This is the funniest
thing. Coutinho, failures, all of them. Right? Injuries, they're not fitting into the system, they're not scoring, they're just not, confidence levels are.
It's just bad business.
So what I'm saying though, City does some good business. Everybody may not agree with the business that we do, but we do some good business. It's like the rich kids. They could afford to
good business and fraudulent business. Where's the line with that?
Look. A lot of business done may be fraudulent and we don't even know it. We don't know it. It's how it's presented. It's how it's presented to the public eyes. It's like,
well, that's a good argument. That's a good argument.
Yes. And it even goes back to like taxes and all of that stuff too. It's like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You want to do as much as you can to just say, I don't want to pay 2 mil taxes. Could I pay 500K? You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. That's a good argument.
There's a lot of shady things that goes on with many clubs, not only City. It's just the fact that whoever hacked the whole thing, Footy Leaks, the guy behind it, he just wanted to bring that to light. And there's many other clubs who has been doing fraudulent things that will be banned. I just saw something about a club banned, I can't remember the club right now, but a club would be, I think, Trabzonspor, the same club that that goalkeeper is at.
Yeah.
That
Urgent,
yeah. And that Storage went to, they will be banned. They got banned. And that's not even in the news for shady business practices as well.
Turkey, as and I don't want to speak bad of Turkish people, but the country, like economic wise, like Turkey's kind of shady.
But I'm saying there's a lot of shady things going on. A lot of shady things. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
This next season, what we're really trying to do is just weigh up how the teams are going to look next season. What we need to do to be better, what Liverpool need to do to be on top. In my opinion, I think Liverpool need to consolidate. It's not basically about strengthening, because how stronger can you get without spending? Because it seems like Liverpool are reluctant to spend right now. So Liverpool will want to consolidate their position in that they're tying down players to new contracts to keep them at the club. Players that are still in their prime, like a Salah, Mane, Firmino, Henderson, all these guys. And bring in players who could take over going forward, like a Curtis Jones, like a Nico Williams, a Harvey Elliott. That's the direction I see Liverpool going right about now.
Completely
because right now, and they have said it, I've saw it in the news and everything, the club isn't looking to bring in big money, spend big. I don't think Liverpool are going to spend 100 mil altogether in the summer coming. It might not happen. It could happen, but
I don't see it.
It's not shaping up to be that way, or else Timo Werner would have been a Liverpool player.
Right.
So the fact that you guys are reluctant to spend 50 mil on a player that you've been linked to for a year plus, it tells a lot. And,
no, you're right. You're right. But even our actions say it too. Mm-hmm. Like, we're signing younger players to long deals. We were re-signing, like you said, the players that are in their prime. We're locking them down to new contracts. And that's the way we need to go, because we've found success with what we have right now, and we need to keep it, right? Or at the very least, protect the value of everyone, which is what we're doing. So
I think it's going to be a tough season.
It's a tough season for everybody. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for you guys because you're now on top. Everybody would be coming for you, and it's going to be interesting to see if you guys could actually withstand that pressure of being champions and seeing if the team won't break nor fold under that said pressure. Because if you look at when Liverpool are full strength, with the exception of when you played Watford and when you played City and Atletico Madrid, you know, the last couple of games, it seems like you have to keep putting out that team all the time. How long can these guys go without breaking down? That's the thing. So
we struggle with the injuries. That's the thing.
The other players has to step up. They have to step up. If, for example, a Firmino is out long term, or Salah, oh man, it could be a disaster for you guys. And
the thing is, I don't know about that, because you had Shaqiri and Origi playing against Barcelona and we beat them 4-0.
No, that was a previous season. I'm talking about long term. I'm talking about from 2019-20 to next season. I'm talking about long-term injuries, like what happened with Laporte or what happened with Leroy Sané. If, for example, a Salah or Mane sustain an injury like that, it could spell disaster for Liverpool, because Mane always comes up with that big goal. Salah always comes up with that big goal. Without these guys, you guys will struggle to pick up results. Maybe you pick up draws, but the wins, you guys had 13 1-0 wins, I think, or one goal margin wins this season. So that
Who
could
cares?
change. No, but that's not the point. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is you won by close margins because of these crucial players. And if these players aren't available, would the players filling in be able to step up to that level and provide? That's all.
Hey, no, great points. And I agree. I think we definitely need players to step up. And not only that, but there are certain positions that we talked about that we need depth. And we saw it this year. We've been fortunate enough. We haven't had any long-term injuries yet. Hopefully we don't get them. But you guys, you did suffer that, and you suffered the consequences. You know, you couldn't defend the title, and but that's why next season, if you're able to bring in those defenders that you talked about, and if Liverpool are able to get their depth down and have the players step up, if the starting 11 players go out, we're in for a wild ride next season, man.
Yo, I'm so looking forward to this season. You don't even understand, because United, I know they're rivals and they are rivals, but they're looking damn good.
They're in good form. There's no denying they're in good form.
No, this guy Bruno Fernandes,
Fernandes is an animal.
Jeez, man, this guy is
animal. Yo, but let's save that for another video. He's an animal. Look, but great.
We could go on and on.
We could. Great banter today. I think we brought up some good points, and let us know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you think the table is going to look like next year? What do you think the top 6 are going to be? You think Liverpool can defend the title? Do you think, Skriniar or any of the other players that Dominic brought up will be at City? Let us know down below. Dominic, I appreciate you being here, man. Great talking with you as always. And
the same, man. It's the same. I appreciate, just chopping it up with you. Guys, be vocal in the comments. Let us know how you feel. It's on and popping next season for sure. You think this season was wild? Next season is gonna be wilder.
Any of the top 6 next, there could be 4 teams fighting for the top spot next year, man.
All I have to say, strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a wild one.
That's right, guys. I appreciate you guys being here and tuning in, and take care.
So, guys, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new. Links will be in the description box down below for the respective channels. Like the video. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.